Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you doing today? How's things where you are? It is raining here, and it has rained nonstop all weekend. Some schools were canceled today because of flooding. I have a feeling there'll probably be some canceled tomorrow because of flooding. It has not stopped raining all day, literally, and wow. It's a ton of rain, but it was a good weekend. I spent the weekend working anyway, and so not being able to go outside wasn't a huge deal breaker for me because I've been putting a whole lot of effort into pepahana lately. And I want to thank you. If you signed up for the beta, thank you. I cannot thank you enough for participating. I've changed it. It's no longer called a beta. I realized that I was a little premature calling this a beta because it's not really a fully functional app at this point. It's almost just a note-taking app right now. There's still a whole lot that needs to be done to bring it to what I would consider a beta. So I just changed it to an early access. Semantics, but semantics are important, and that's one thing I've definitely learned this weekend while trying to launch this product. I have had, since yesterday, I've had 7 new registrations. I had a few of you register before that. Some people had found out they could register kind of in advance, and so I had a few people register. There's currently about 12 users, and maybe between 12 and 15, I think. No, I think it's about 12, including me. And I really cannot thank you enough for coming along and trying it. If nothing else, it gives me an idea of how the login process works. So far, this is the same login process I use for the software that I've written for the school system. Essentially, you sign up, you get an email, you click the link in the email, it verifies your account, you log in, done. And I would say probably something around 10% of users on the K-12 side of things completely screw that process up and can't figure out how to log in, and I have to deal with that. So far, none of you have had an issue at all with the login process, so that's good. That's good news for me. And I've got a decent amount of feedback. Not, I would say of the 7 people that signed up yesterday, I don't think I've heard from any of them yet. I've heard from friends who have been trying the software, and I have one regular viewer who's decided to kind of at least mentor me, which has been a really, 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 really helpful thing. I sent him the code, an early version of the code. It's actually significantly different from what I sent him now, but I sent him some code about a week ago, and he's got a chance to play with it and look it over and tell me that my code's not garbage, which makes me feel great because he's been a developer for a very long time and I have not. And I always feel like I'm just a hack, but he definitely didn't say your code is complete trash. So that's good. He gave me some really interesting insights into dealing with SQL and how I should go about that. And also something I never really thought about was I always do database first, which is I spend a lot of time modeling an idea in my head and then do database. And then he said something like, build the functionality first and then worry about the database later. And it never occurred to me that I could just like set up some, if I'm gonna call a database and I'm gonna return something, say a set of fields, and I'm going to pack that into an array, there's nothing stopping me from making an array with the data that I want in it, using that to build all my models and my tests and my views, and then once I've got that locked down, I take that and I use that to generate the table. And that makes total sense. And after he sent me that email, I was like, oh God, Chevee, you're an idiot. Like, I always make a database, play with it, and then it changes a whole bunch. And because I do such rapid production updates, I have to keep the 2 databases between my dev server, which is just this laptop, and my actual server. I have to keep the databases in sync, which means if I do a command here, I have to do it there, and sometimes that gets lost in translation. And it's just so much simpler the way that he suggested doing that. That just kind of blew my mind when I read it. Like, yeah, I'm dumb. But that's a good thing. I like finding out that I'm dumb. I love learning that I'm dumb because that means there's more to learn. And obviously there's always going to be more to learn. This is software development. But overall, I put out the product Saturday. I kind of soft announced it Friday, said on Saturday, I'm ready, I'm taking things, and there was zero traction till Sunday night. And the only reason there was traction Sunday night was I had a couple things happen. I had my CheveeDodd.com email list go out, which announced it. And then I found about 4 different startup subreddits that I could put it on, like alpha beta testers and early adopters and that sort of stuff. And so I put it up on Reddit, and I think that got me the vast majority of these signups. And I put it up on Hacker News also, and got maybe a sign up or 2 from there. I'm not sure. Honestly, if you're watching this now and you are one of the people that signed up that I don't know personally, or at least through this channel, let me know where you came from, because I don't really have any way of tracking that. I should have done click back links or whatever, but I don't care. Right now what I care about is making a stable application that is not hackable. I have a friend who's one of the systems guys I work with. He has tried to URL hack everything and mess with my API, and he hasn't been able to break it, so that's good. At least I know a little something. But what I learned this weekend was I didn't define it well enough to tell people, please use it, because here's what it is, and I need to do that. And I still haven't done that because I've been working on doing some of the feature stuff that still needs to get done. But very soon I will figure out a way to define it better, build a better landing page and about page, and really tell you more about the software and what I intend for it to be, because I think that's going to drive traffic all on its own. But overall, it was a positive experience. It's been a positive experience. It continues to be a positive experience. I'm working on it tonight. I worked on it at lunch today. I worked on it all day yesterday, all weekend. So I'm really excited about it. And will it ever be something? I don't know. Don't care. Having fun with it. That's really all that matters to me. It's been a really, really wonderful learning experience. So I'll keep maintaining it just for that. Even if I only have a couple dozen users, I don't care. It's fine. It cost me $10 a year. I already have the host, so no big deal. So that's what I have for you today. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being my bestest friends, being really amazing people. And if you haven't signed up for it yet, please do. Even if you just sign up, that lets me test the registration system. That lets me see, how the server handles bigger database files, that sort of stuff. And that's important to me just as much as you actually using the app. So please sign up. And yeah, maybe someday you'll click on it and try it again. But thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, Doc, wait! I want to ask you something.
Today's random fact comes from Wikipedia. What exactly is evaporated milk? Evaporated milk, also known as dehydrated milk, is a shelf-stable canned milk product with about 60% of the water removed from fresh milk. It differs from sweetened condensed milk, which contains added sugar. Sweetened condensed milk requires less processing since the added sugar inhibits bacterial growth.